Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And I mentioned that, don't say I didn't warn you. I had a lot of feedback going on about, no, it's not going to go down. The prices aren't going to go down. And guess what? We are moving down. And today we're going to cover everything. What is going on right now? What is some of the news that is going on? How will this impact? What sort of price actions can we see coming in the next 24, 48, 72 hours? And where are we going to stop the drop and continue the bull run? So all of that and a lot more coming up in the next couple of minutes. So first of all, Ethereum and XRP is looking more attractive as investors rush to exit Bitcoin funds. Now, basically what this article on FX Street is talking about is that investors redeemed a net $141 million during the 7 days through June 4, the highest weekly total on record according to CoinShares. Now, Bitcoin-focused investment funds suffered record redemptions by investors last week. So that was like one of the biggest ones ever. And people are rushing towards Ethereum and XRP. So it's really important to recognize this and to understand what is going on there. And, this is pretty significant numbers. We're talking about millions of dollars going through and being taken out of Bitcoin. And I think it's... Look, I can see it coming, but it's really interesting to see this happening. So, of course, from a big picture point of view, where we're going and what is about to happen and where are we heading to next? We like in the long term, there's no problem. Where we are right now and what is about to happen. Like, it's not a time for you to be concerned. If you're a long-term holder of XRP, please, for the love of God, do some research and do not sell early. It's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. What I'm saying is I know that when it's red, people panic. And if they panic, they sell too early. I am 100% confident that at the end of this dip, we will rise and rise really fast. But of course, that is only because I've done my research and I understand what is happening. So I highly encourage you to do your own research and figure it out, because I would hate to see you sell at these prices only to come back and come back in at $2, $3, $4, $5, $6 in the not too distant future. Of course, if investing and cryptocurrency is impacting your mental health, then by all means, nothing is more important than your health. And if this stuff is impacting you, then I completely understand. I completely empathize with you. But just be mindful of what is going on right now. And if you do feel a little bit stressed about, what is going on right now, just switch off. Don't even watch these things. Go and do literally anything. Don't even, log on to your account. Just forget about it and come back in a couple of weeks' time. These are the points, and I mentioned this yesterday, these are the targets, this is where we're heading, this is where we're going. We're going through some turbulence right now, and I completely understand, if you feel like flustered at the moment, and, going through turbulence on a plane, for me, is not fun at all, especially descending. Going up, full noise, no problem, but especially when the plane is descending and there's turbulence, man, I do not like that at all. But what we are forming is a cup and handle formation, and that particular formation there around the 79 cents, 77 cents, is probably at the end of this line. But we could dip a little bit lower than that, and I'll explain to you what it's all going to mean. So for me, I think that where we're at as far as from a compression point of view, we're not far from the end of this, and it has been quite a journey. It's been going on for a long time. What it feels like ages, really. I mean, May was from the middle of the May onwards. It was it felt like ages. But I like this chart. I like what WKW has posted on here. I do believe in what is happening right there. And look, we gotta stick it out. Yeah, that's the option that we have. And again, if you're a long-term holder, nothing to worry about. If you're a day trader, obviously I've got some some points to make today about entries and all that. I really like this statement from Brad Garlinghouse, and this particular statement for me I think is very relevant. It's very important to mention that Chris and I had the option to settle separately, and we could have done that, and it would have been all behind us. But that's how confident Chris and I are that we are right, and we will aggressively fight and prove our case. So I like that. That was a statement made back in December 2020 that they're in it to win it. They're in it to win it for the long term, not just for XRP, but for the entire cryptocurrency space. And I think it's going to be really, really exciting what happens over the next couple of weeks. Now, let's jump into Atani. Let's see what the indicators are telling us. All right, so back in Atani on the daily chart, what we can see here is that the daily MACD actually hasn't crossed over. So, we're still in a bullish trend, even sitting at 87 cents right now. Now, what's really interesting is that the Bollinger has really closed in and we're heading towards the end. And if I look over here, like 79 cents, 77 cents, that they've played major support levels, and every time we've dipped to around 75, we've bounced back pretty aggressively from it. So somewhere around there, I think it is definitely possible for us to find new resistance. Those that are saying that we're going to 20,000 and all that, I am personally not of that opinion. Now, if we look on the hourly, what's really interesting is that on the hourly, we did come out of the Bollinger and now we're back in. And on the MACD, we've just about to cross over we're back into a positive. The RSI went into extremely oversold and now we've bounced back really nicely. So when we hit 83, we started to rise very quickly to 87. So is it already over? I mean, is the dip already over? We will, analyze and go through it. On the 4 hourly, still in the negative segment. So, the MACD is still saying that it's a bearish segment. On the 12 hour, we crossed over a little bit, but it looks more bullish than bearish. And of course, on the daily, which we were on initially when we jumped on, it is still a bullish segment. So how much more have we got to go before we hit the bottom of this downward spiral and kick back off into the bullish run? Let's jump into some drawings and see what they tell us. All right, so back in the charts, and let's understand, what are the targets here? What are we looking for? We have a target at 81 cents, and then failure to break through that, if we drop below 78, then the next one would be 66, which has been mentioned, like a couple of days ago, I did talk about this. And so that is a very realistic target that could be hit, but I still believe in the first target being the one that actually takes off. So I think that one will be the leverage that we then kick off and go up and away. Now, at the moment, we're not too far off from that. I mean, 87 at the time of making this, we're not that far from 81. So be on the lookout. And my worry for you is that if you are putting in potential buy orders at 66 and waiting for that, you might not get it. So just be mindful of it. Again, it's not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but I do want you to be prepared because you could potentially, through greed and trying to get the best possible entry, you might miss out. Now, the other aspect of all this as well is that we got to look at what's going on at the moment with Bitcoin, right? So the Bitcoin charts and the way that it's currently going, looks like we could be, stuck in this sort of time frame, heading towards 30 for a bit. So we could be, a couple of days, even potentially a week before Bitcoin starts to rally up again. So we need to be on the lookout for that. 47,000 is when we want to see Bitcoin rise up again. And now, of course, there has been the talk of the 21,000 and Bitcoin going to 21 and then rising. Again, I want you to trade with caution because you could find yourself, again, through greed, you might miss the boat. Now, another scenario from the XRP chart is that we do hit that 81 cents and then bounce off and go into $1.60 and beyond. And let's not forget, one of the key things here is that we need to understand what move does XRP make the day that an announcement is made of the SEC. And that's why I always bring news, up-to-date, relevant information to you, because you got to understand that news will come out and you won't have time to log on to your account to put a buy order or a sell order or whatever. So just be mindful of that and be ready for that because that is really, really important. And I know that there is no specific date for this. It could literally be coming out at the time of this video happening, right? But you got to be ready for this stuff. Like in the hope of getting a 66 cents entry, you might really, really be in trouble and have a $2 entry, $3 entry. So I think from where we are right now, what is happening and where we're at, I think 78 cents for me makes sense from a chart point of view. I think 78 cents makes a lot of sense. to then kick off here. And I like, this Tether chart, what it says over there. But I think 78 could really make sense. Failure of that, breaking out of 78, then I think we would head towards the, like I said, 66. But I think you really, really want to trade with caution when it comes to the 66 cents time frame, because in putting in a buy order for that, you could miss out big time. As always, if you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, hold, and I'll see you in the moon.